On November 18th, tensions inside the Newman family explode into a storm that has been gathering silently for weeks. Nick Newman finds himself pushed beyond his emotional breaking point, and when Victor realizes just how deeply his son has been wounded, the patriarch steps in with a fierce determination that only grows sharper when the threat involves one of his children. Whether the retaliation is aimed at Matt Clark, who has resurfaced under the Mitch Bacall facade, or at another enemy encroaching too close to Nick's life, the message remains the same. Victor Newman will not allow anyone to threaten his family, and when he joins forces with Nick, their combined fury becomes a force the rest of Genoa City can feel, as if the air itself has shifted. Nick's anger comes from a raw, personal place. The manipulation, the psychological games, and the constant sense that someone is trying to dismantle his life ignite something inside him that he cannot calm down with logic or patience. He reaches a point where trying to reason feels like a waste of time and trying to forgive feels like betrayal. The betrayal, whether emotional, strategic, or rooted in an old wound resurfacing, cuts him deeply, and he walks into the Newman ranch carrying an energy that is sharp, restless, and ready to combust. Victor watches his son with the trained precision of a man who has built empires, crushed rivals, and raised a family in the shadows of constant threats. He sees the turmoil in Nick's eyes and recognizes it instantly. This is not a passing anger, not a momentary frustration. This is the beginning of a war. And in that moment, Victor's protective instinct ignites. Whatever conflict Nick has stepped into, Victor decides that his son will not fight it alone. Not this time. When Nick explains what has happened, the betrayal, the manipulation, and the deliberate sabotage that pushed him over the edge, Victor does not hesitate. The quiet fury rising inside him is far more dangerous than any outburst. He begins to move with purpose, activating connections, recalling past strategies, and piecing together the weaknesses of the person who dared to cross his son. Nick expects Victor to argue, to cool him down, to insist on restraint, but instead Victor surprises him by offering alignment. Full, unflinching support. Nick, who has been battling a mix of hurt, rage, and disbelief, suddenly finds himself steadied by that support. The retaliation they plan isn't impulsive. It's calculated, measured, and precise. Victor knows how to strike without leaving fingerprints, how to dismantle a rival without shouting, and how to protect his son without appearing in the spotlight. Nick brings the emotional clarity, the knowledge of what was done to him, how deeply it affected him, and where the strike needs to land. Victor brings the power, the strategy, and the ruthless instinct needed to finish the job. Together, they form a united front that is far stronger than either could be alone. Victor begins by pulling strings through quiet channels, gathering information that reveals just how deep the betrayal ran. Nick, energized by the validation he feels from his father, digs deeper into the emotional motive behind the attack. Each discovery intensifies their resolve. The retaliation becomes a slow, deliberate dismantling, one that exposes lies, weakens the enemy's foundation, and sets the stage for a downfall that can't be easily repaired. In the middle of this growing firestorm, Sharon senses the shift in Nick's energy, feeling the determination pulsing beneath his calm exterior. She knows Victor's involvement means whatever is happening has entered dangerous territory. But Nick's pain is too sharp and Victor's loyalty too fierce for anyone to pull them back now. The Newman men have entered a shared mission, and once they begin moving in sync, they rarely stop until the threat is neutralized. By the end of the episode, the retaliation has begun. Silent phone calls, abrupt power plays, sudden shifts in control, all signs that Victor has set his machine into motion. Nick stands beside him, no longer overwhelmed by anger but fueled by purpose. Their target has no idea yet what is coming, but when the first cracks in their world appear, it will be too late to escape.